So today we're going to be going to Parliament House and we're going to be asking our Prime Minister questions.
I'm very excited but mostly nervous.
Nervous? Why is that?
Because basically the entirety of Australia is watching.
Say hello.
Hi.
Alright everybody, we got 30 minutes with the Prime Minister today. What questions do you think we should ask?
Maybe we should ask, like, who inspired him?
Maybe what was the hardest decision he ever made for being a Prime Minister?
I came up with a few about what he's going to do for the environment and just to get to know him so kids around Australia know him a bit better.
Will I be able to afford a house in the future? That's a big one, because I don't want to be homeless.
We tried to make some questions that were serious and not funny. Well, we tried to squeeze in some funny ones.
All right, everybody, what's your favourite question?
What would Donald Trump influence on Australia?
Do you think that social media has a big impact on kids?
Why do you think it's important to ask people in power questions like this?
Because they can help you to help make a difference.
All right, everybody, how are we feeling about those questions?
Really good.
How are you thinking today's going to go when we meet the PM?
I'm not a time traveller. I have no idea how it will go, but I hope that it will go very well.
I'm very excited. I've never met the Prime Minister before.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you?
10.
9.
10. 10. 10.
9? Hang on a minute.
I don't know.
Hey, how you going? What's your name?
Ava.
Hi Ava. G'day, I'm Anthony. What's your name?
I'm Liam.
Hi Liam. Hi, what's your name?
Deb.
Nice to meet you. Welcome to my office. There's various stuff up there, including a Rabbitohs footy. Does anyone here go for the Rabbitohs? Not one.
Brayden does.
Yeah, there you go. There's always a random South guy, wherever you are in the world. Okay, fantastic. Okay, see you in a minute. Well, good afternoon and welcome to the Blue Room here in Parliament House.
Good afternoon, Mr Albanese. What inspired you to be Prime Minister?
Oh gee, I didn't come into Parliament to be the Prime Minister. I didn't think that I'd have that opportunity. I grew up in a household with just my mum. She was quite crippled up with rheumatoid arthritis, and so I got interested in how can she get a better life? How can people get better access to healthcare and opportunities? So I ran for Parliament in 1996 and got elected. And then after the election in 2019, where the Labor Party wasn't successful, I put my hand up and got elected as leader.
Did you ever run for school or house captain when you were a child?
I didn't get to be a school or house captain. That's a very raw thing that you've raised. Who's the school captain here? See, so that was a loaded question. Well, congratulations to you.
Will young Australians be able to afford to buy houses in the future?
Certainly that is our objective. The key to housing policy is supply. So there's no short-term fix. And I think that's one of the reasons why governments haven't delivered. So we've got an objective of 1.2 million homes to be built.
How can young people help the environment?
How young people can help is to remind your parents and others who are older than you of what your values are and why it's important that all of us are responsible.
Hi, my name is Alex.
Hi, Alex.
And do you have some hobbies?
I do have hobbies. I love sport. When I was your age, I used to collect stamps, and I also collected footy cards. They came with bubble gum.
Not anymore.
Now my hobby is, I guess, I like following sport, and my dog, Toto, she takes up a bit of time too.
My name is Rory. How will Donald Trump affect Australia?
Well, see, I knew there'd be some difficult questions. Look, Australia, we have a good relationship with the United States, but Australia will determine our own position as well. To give one example, President Trump has decided the United States will withdraw funding and support from the UN climate change agreement on Paris. He has withdrawn funding from aid organisations, including the World Health Organization. So we'll stay in the Paris Agreement on climate change, and we'll continue to provide support for foreign aid.
How can we help support peace in the Middle East?
Oh, thanks, Ava. I think, it is devastating, isn't it, watching what is occurring in the Middle East. One of the things that we're trying to do is to be responsible, to be advocates for long-term peace, to oppose the actions of terrorists, like happened with Hamas against Israel on October 7, to call that out, condemn it. Also to work for what's the solution. So for a long time in the Middle East, people have spoken about two states, which is what was supposed to happen and didn't. So Israelis and Palestinians living side by side. But it's not easy, and no one should think it's easy. But the alternative is devastating.
My name is Ben, and what is the hardest part of being the Prime Minister?
Oh, I think the fact that there are only 24 hours in the day, Ben, but there's not a day or not a minute where I don't feel honoured and humbled to have the position that I do. And I'm very passionate about this being the best country on earth. We're done, I think. Can I thank you so much? It's good there are members of the Federal Parliamentary Press Gallery here. They're taking notes as well. But all of you are delightful. Thank you very much.